What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Wartalk. My name is Steph, and I'm coming to you from the General Warfare headquarters. I'm glad you're joining us today. So for long subscribed members and viewers of the channel, everybody knows that most of my content is based around the EDH and Commander format, from general discussion videos to deck brews to gameplay videos. And for this week, I want to try something a little bit different. I do understand that 2 weeks ago, I did say I was going to make a brewing for $50 episode this week. That video is still coming. Don't come at me at the comments, but I want to experiment with something this week because, you know, I want to try something a little bit different than just going on the same format for another week straight. Anyways, I want to try something different from this channel. So as you can see from the title down below, I'm going to show you a couple of ways on how to easily get yourself and some friends subscribed to Magic. Now, disclaimer first and foremost, this is not an explainer on how to play Magic. That video may come at a different time. This is just a couple tips video, basically, on how to easily get started playing Magic the Gathering. This comes courtesy from a site called tapandsack.com. That link will be linked in the show notes down below that you can read upon yourself. I do resonate with a lot of these steps, and I'm not gonna reread everything from that. I'm just gonna provide to you a lot of my own personal experiences from it. So without further ado, let's get started. So this is 7 steps on how to get started playing Magic. And before we get started with this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon, because that's the best way you're gonna know of any future video that comes out of the channel. Okay, on to the video. So first step is you wanna choose between playing paper Magic or online Magic. In the last couple of years, you've seen the explosion of different avenues on how to play Magic. So not only do we have the cardboard version that we're so used to nowadays from like 20 years back, but now we have access to Magic Arena. We have access to Cockatrice, which is what we exclusively use for online gameplay videos. MTGO, Magic Arena, Cockatrice. There are so many others that I can't name off the top of my head, but those are a lot of great outlets. But what you want to do first is you want to decipher whether or not you want to choose between playing paper Magic or online Magic. For me and my friends, we've all obviously started playing paper Magic because it was the most accessible way to get started, and nobody really wanted to make an account for MTGO. But in the latter couple of years, especially with the pandemic, we've had to resort to different avenues. So me and my friends decided to go on to Cockatrice to not only play games online while we self-quarantine, but also to deck test a couple of decks, and basically gave me the drive really to try brewing new decks for brewing for $50, making that somewhat of a mini success. I say success because for me personally speaking, a success is like a small milestone, a small achievement for me. You choose either you want to play paper Magic, where you can easily you have the access to all the cards right in front of you, or if you want to show somebody else, I feel personally the best way is to use paper Magic because that's right in front of you. Or you can use online Magic. MTGO is a great resource if you want to spend the sign-up fee on that and the extra money to get the cards. Magic Arena is a great resource that you don't have to spend too much money on. Cockatrice takes no money at all, yeah, those are some of the ones that I can personally say off the top of my head that I've personally used. Now, step number 2. Starting to learn the basic rules of Magic. You want to learn how the turn works and the preliminary rules of Magic. How you tap your mana, how haste works, how everything in that. It doesn't take long to learn the basic rules of Magic. It's just when you start learning the different abilities, that's when it takes a little bit longer. But once you know the basic rules, you know pretty much like 80% of how to play Magic. I would suggest if you get one of those like pre-built commander decks for commander players, or just a theme deck or any kind of deck that your local LGS has, I would suggest looking through that little sheet that you get inside, because that shows you how to play Magic, and that would be a good way to learn. That you can use as a in lack of a better term, a little Bible on how to learn how to play Magic. So me personally, I learned through playing not only with my friends like 10 odd years ago, but I technically started learning this when I was like 8 years old. My cousin actually used to have a little collection of Magic cards, and after camp once or twice a week, we'd go back to my cousin's place and I try to learn how to play Magic. It was kind of interesting, and I kind of fell out of it until I gone into college, or in Quebec it's called CEGEP. And that's how I kind of found my play group. And I found my play group through there. It was from all my close friends and such. And from watching them play and learning myself how to play, that's how I got a chance to learn the basics of Magic. Step number 3, you should find somebody or some people to play with. So this could be a set of friends, some family, your significant other. Even if you guys are just learning for the first time, or if you're going to somebody who knows already how to play Magic, that would be the best, as you can use them as a mentor to show you how not only the basic rules of Magic work, but how some strategies work and some cards synergize and flow together. That would probably be the best way to learn is to find somebody to play Magic with. And that way you get the knowledge through repetition on how to play. And Magic itself is a really fun game to play. And there's no reason why I would be saying this if I didn't believe that. And there would be 1,000 or thousands of channels just like this if there wasn't a fun game to play. Step number 4, build your card collection, but without spending a ton of cash. So honestly, if you're getting started, you don't want to overdo it and go get a Gaia's Cradle immediately. Like this channel itself, especially my sub videos for brewing with $50, show you guys accessible ways to build decks for under a certain budget. And if you're new to this channel, if this is the first video you're seeing, there's gonna be a link on the top right of your screen right now to go check out all the Brewing $50 episodes that I have for you, because those give you access to all the cards that I curate for those decks at under $1, or sometimes like $2 or $3. Something very accessible for most of you guys to play with, especially if you're just getting into Magic. And you don't have to spend a ton of cash. Like, if you want to build a 60 card deck, you really need like maybe $30 or $40. And considering like casual play and casual decks for 60 card decks usually can run up to 4 of the same card in once. That's easy enough. And especially if you're just getting into Commander, or if you want to start playing with Commander, like I mentioned to you, like $50 is honestly all you really need to make a Commander deck. Something functional and and a way just to win the game for you. Not to repeat my speeches from those videos itself. But I'm being completely transparent and honest with you guys. It's really easy and really accessible to play Magic. Step 5, choose what Magic colors you'd like to play with. So ultimately, there's the color pie chart on the back of each Magic card that has red, white, blue, black, and green. You want to figure out what color best suits you. I know for me, I love playing with green and I love playing with red. Red allows you to burn stuff and allows you to get some card advantage, while green allows you to ramp, make a lot of tokens, and allows you to draw cards as well. So for me, that's my perfect mix. Red and green, and then my supplementary colors would probably be, in no particular order, black, white, and then blue. But you figure it out for yourself what kind of strategies you want to build. Do you want to build a very aggressive deck? Do you want to counter whatever your opponents are playing? Or do you want to just shelter and then explode at a random time? Or better yet, do you just want to go wild and make a lot of tokens? The choice is ultimately up to you what kind of colors you want to play. I would be informed of what colors do what, and ultimately build your strategy around what colors you want to build with. Step 6, build your first deck for casual play. So like I mentioned to you, casual decks, you don't need a lot of money. You can maybe like $30 really to build a deck. But once you find your color combination, the best way to move into that would actually be just to start building a deck that's somewhat functional for you. A good resource for this would probably be, if you're building a commander deck, would be EDHREC, because that is an amazing resource for you guys not only to see an algorithm that's convenient for players who want to build a certain kind of commander or a certain kind of theme, but ultimately it gives you suggestions of cards you would never have thought of before to add to that deck. And even for casual play too, like you can always ask friends where to get started. You can even ask even your local LGS. There's bound to be people who are going to be friendly enough to help you out build your first deck. Especially if you're just getting into the game itself, there's definitely a lot of really nice people there to help you out. And trust me when I say this, when I went to my first LGS, There's been a lot of people who help me out build decks. There's a lot of people who help me out build decks. They've a lot of people who give me suggestions on how to build decks. A lot of people who wanted me to max out on my decks. A lot of people who wanted me to, you know, give up Magic entirely, but that's a completely different story for another video, maybe in the future. But don't be shy to ask people at your LGS if it's an employee there or just a person who wants to play Magic. They'd be more than happy to help you out ultimately. And the last step, I would say, is to join a play group of friendly for beginners. So if you have a certain friend group of yours that plays Magic, that'd be the easiest because you know people who actually play the game. And it wouldn't be scary at all for you just to say, hey, I want to learn how to play Magic. Can you guys help me out? Like, I have the deck with me. Do you think we could play a game or two and like just help me out and like soft tuning the decks? So there's that would be the easiest. If not, you can always find a group at your local LGS. When I say LGS, that's local game store, just to let you know, guys know. Any of your game stores, if people are playing Magic there, you can always ask if their play group would let you in to play a couple of games, and then they would ask, and you can ask them for advice and such. A lot of people are very friendly when they come and play in LGSs. There's not too many people who are very hard-headed and short-tempered. I've learned from years of going to LGSs, from FNMs to Commander Nights and such, to kind of get a good vibe of what kind of people are come out and play. And I'll leave you off with this. Another good way to get started playing Magic is going to FNMs, Friday Night Magic events, local game store events. Those are probably the best because not only are they beginner friendly, but a lot of people who you play with, you're getting the feel to how to play with them. Even some of them will actually give you suggestions and advice on how to build your decks. And even hell, you can make new friends there, and you can even join a play group there, just in the first night of actually being there. So those are my 7 tips for you guys to get started playing Magic the Gathering. I'm gonna leave it off there for today, but I want to thank you guys so much for watching. And if you enjoy this kind of content, be sure to like this video, hit subscribe, and hit that bell icon to be notified of every single video that comes out of the channel, because not only will you be helping yourself, being informed of any future video coming out, but you'll help me grow the channel. And especially with the algorithm of YouTube these days, the more you comment, the more you like, the more chance I have to get more exposure around the internet. And who doesn't like growing their channel ultimately on this platform? Not only that, but you can also, if you want to follow me, and if you want to ultimately support the channel, there's going to be a link to my social medias on the bottom left-hand side of your screen for my Twitter, my Instagram, my Facebook, and my TikTok. I'm very active on my Instagram and my Facebook. TikTok, not so much, and Twitter has kind of been dead for this channel for a little bit, but I'm being completely transparent with you. I post videos every second Friday. This is just a temporary solution because I've just come out of a month-long recovery period. So this is just a temporary thing until I get back on the horse, and we'll see where it goes from there. I want to thank you all once again for watching this video. I do appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next couple of weeks. So until then, cheers, everybody.